Howdy, folks. I'm Aaron Aridinus, eagerly ebbing ever eastward.
I'm Amber.
And here are more ebbings for us to eastward to. It's a river. It's a river. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, I'm a 20-year-old female, and I refuse to stay at my boyfriend's, 26-year-old male's, hotel on my girls' trip. Am I the jerk? A little backstory to give everyone some context. So me and my girlfriends, they are planning to go to London at the end of April because one of the girls has a birthday. And for that case, we decided to go to London since she always wanted to go there. We have been planning this trip since last December 2023, and I made sure to inform my boyfriend of the trip, and he said that it was fine. I then informationed him that we might stay at a friend's place since hotels in London are a bit pricey, or we may stay at a hotel, but it all depends on how we feel. Fast forward to this month, March 2024, me and my friends were on FaceTime trying to decide which hotel to reserve for the trip, and we decided on one hotel, but we were still considering staying at a friend's place. I told my boyfriend all of this, and that's when he told me that he was also going to London with his friends, but he doesn't want to sleep in the same hotel room as his friends, which I fully understood. And that he went ahead and asked me to reserve a hotel room for him as well, and I accepted, but I reminded him that me and the girls weren't sure if we were going to stay at the hotel like I mentioned, since they are pricey and we are traveling on a budget, so staying at a friend's place is going to save us some money. But we reserved the hotel just in case. Then I asked him which of the dates that he was going to London, and he mentioned the same dates as me, but I just didn't think anything of it, but it was such a coincidence. He then told me that he wants me to stay with him at this hotel during my girls' trip, since we are a couple, which I understand. But like I mentioned from the start, that this trip is one that I planned with my girls since December. And it would be rude of me to tell them that I am going to go stay with my boyfriend at this hotel during our trip, yet we planned everything together. But he said during the day that I could go and hang out with my friends, and then at night I could go to his hotel and sleep. And he thinks that it doesn't make sense for us as a couple to fly out into the same city and not stay at the same place. But I said no, because it was not my plan since the beginning, and I can't just start to change everything just because he feels like he also wants to go to London on the exact same dates. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. And this seems kind of manipulative and controlling. Like, he and his friends just happen to book a trip for the exact same weekend that you're going to be gone for. It's very clear why he's doing this. And then he starts demanding, oh, well, we're going together, so you have to stay in my room with me. What do you want to bet that he's gonna, his friend's gonna flake out last minute and he has to join the girls' trip or something?
I mean, that's an interesting theory. I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, he could be planning to end up going on OP's girls' trip. Maybe he feels jealous, maybe he feels insecure, but it's a little strange that, I think it's a little more than a coincidence, let's put it that way, that he's going on this trip. And I think that he is trying to interfere with OP's plans. And it would be one thing if he asked her, oh, hey, I'm going to be in London at this time, during this time frame. Do you want to stay at the hotel? And if OP says no, then that's that, right? But it feels more like he's trying to make demands of her, trying to manipulate the situation, and is just trying to get OP to agree to this.
Right. I mean, this is either one coming from a place of insecurity and where he's afraid that if he is not monitoring OP, then something might happen. She might cheat on him, in which case he should probably do some work on himself for those insecurities. Or it's a little more insidious and he doesn't like OP spending time with her friends and is trying to isolate her and would slowly make this whole trip into a him and OP trip.
Basically, if she's staying at the hotel with him, then she can't be sleeping with other guys, right? So I don't know if this has any deeper meaning to it than that. Maybe it has no meaning to it. Maybe it is just a pure coincidence. But it really seems like he's really pushing OP to stay at the hotel. And the only thing I can figure from that is that he's just trying to make sure that she doesn't cheat on him.
Yeah, but like if he can't trust you, like that's not a good sign. And so I think OP is right not to want to stay in the hotel room with him. This is supposed to be time she's spending with her friends, and part of that time is nighttime.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to watch out for other red flags. Are there other ways that he is subtly manipulating you, changing plans, and kind of like making like your time with your friends into him time or things like that?
Yeah, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Knee3KO says, not the jerk, sounds controlling. How old were you when you started dating? And OP replies, 19, almost 20, and we've been together for 8 months. And C Poland 12 says, not the jerk. It seems super manipulative and controlling for him to all of a sudden be going to the same city as you on the exact same dates. Right now, he says that you only have to stay in my hotel. Pretty soon, it will become, we'll just have breakfast and dinners with me. Then it'll be, we'll just spend one of the days with me. Soon enough, you'll be spending the whole time with him and not your friends who the trip is actually with. Or tell him that you two will plan a trip with each other at another time. And Vegetable Cod 2340 says, yeah, OP, I guarantee that his plans will be cancelled, and he'll suddenly be at loose ends, and ask if he can hang around with you and your friends, or he'll try to guilt you into staying with him. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, I found a second phone that my husband used to cheat on me, and now he is panicking. So I'm using a throwaway for this. I found the phone 3 months ago. The way that I found out that he was cheating was by accident. I had recently gotten a new phone because I dropped my old phone and the screen cracked so badly that I couldn't even use it at all. It was hard to get all of my contacts, so I decided to go on our phone account just to see if I could get the contacts from there. My husband is the one who's in charge of paying for the phones, so I never look into the account. Well, I went on his computer, and he had the password and login automatically saved, so it was easy. I got all of my numbers, but then I noticed instead of just 2 lines on the account, that there were 3, and another phone was listed that neither of us had. Honestly, at the time, I thought nothing of it, and thought that maybe it was a line for his grandmother because she only has a landline, and she has mentioned a couple of times of wanting to get a phone, and he just forgot to mention it. Cheating never crossed my mind. I didn't even ask him about it, and I went on with my day. A few days later, I was hanging out with my best friend, and she asked if I was able to get all of my information back, and I said yeah, and I just mentioned that I had even found his grandmother had a phone, and he didn't tell me, but it wasn't a big deal. I don't know what made her ask, but she said, "Are you sure that it's his grandmother's?" And I said, "Pretty sure." She asked me to double check, and I wasn't going to do it, but I was curious. So I called his mom first to say hi, and I asked about his grandmother, and if she had a phone yet, and his mom said no. She said that she decided that she didn't really need it. I waited for him to go to work the next day, and I looked into the account again. I went to the phone, and I clicked view usage history, and I saw that the phone had only texted and called one number hundreds of times, with the history going back 5 months. I also noticed that the times of the calls and the texts were only the times when he was at work, never when he was at home. When I saw that, I was honestly trying to rationalize it because there was no way that he could cheat on me. So I called my friend and I told her what I saw, and she basically told me that I needed to find the phone to confirm the cheating first. I looked for it all over the house for days, and I couldn't find it, so I knew that he must have it on him. So I waited for him to go to sleep, and I searched his car, and I found the phone. His passcode was the same passcode as his regular phone, and I found everything. Text messages, pictures of her, pictures of them together. Them saying I love you. She sends him good morning video messages every morning, and he has kept every single one. I was heartbroken, and I cried the whole night. My friend told me to take the phone, turn all the location trackers off, and then turn it off. The morning that he left, he was 30 minutes late to work because he was looking for it, but he couldn't ask me because he would have to reveal that he had another phone. I kept asking him what he was looking for, and he said that he had a work file that he was looking for. He eventually left. I went to a park with my friend when he left and just turned the phone on and put it on airplane mode and proceeded to go through everything. Our whole marriage is a lie. He pretended that he cares about me, that he loves me while building a relationship with this other woman who knows he is married. I can't even describe how I felt when I found out everything. I still haven't confronted him, and that's because I'm planning to leave in a few months. There is a benefit to being married to him that I would lose if I filed for divorce now, but I won't need that benefit anymore in a couple of months. He knows something is up because I put the phone back 4 days later underneath his car seat, the same seat that he checked more than a few times when he was looking for it. I even charged the phone back to the same percentage that I found it at. I got the idea from my friend. The day that he found his phone, he came into the house and hovered around me the whole night when he was just really quiet. He hasn't asked me about it, and I know that he knows that I know, but asking would lead to more questions. These past 3 months, my behavior has changed, and we haven't been intimate since I found out. I have rejected every advance, and he is panicking to the point when I checked the account in the first month that the third phone line had been removed. He also changed the password a few days later. He keeps asking me what's wrong, and I say nothing. He never goes anywhere now if he isn't at work. He is at home trying to spend time with me. He has recommended couples therapy because, in his words, something has changed, and I said we don't need it. To be honest, I'm finding a weird joy in seeing him panic because he ended our marriage, and I think that he should have to suffer through worrying until I leave. Edit, I have everything. My friend was able to show me how to get all the text, video messages, pictures of them together. I only took the ones where they were not nude because my friend said that taking nude pics of a person that hadn't been given to you could be an issue later on. I also got the phone account usage before he locked me out of the account. She is keeping everything for me. In fact, it was her idea to let him panic. I also already took an STI test, and I'm on his insurance, so I paid for it out of pocket, and I'm fine. Edit 2. So I spontaneously decided to make this post earlier because I was at home thinking that I was going over what I was planning and impending divorce. I ended up on the divorce subreddit, and then I found the cake eaters subreddit, which was not a good choice because it made me so angry. Him cheating on me was, I can't even find the words to describe how painful it is. In a way, me doing this to him is petty, but when I started this, it was the only way to make him hurt like he had hurt me. He absolutely destroyed me with this, and I have been, with the help of my friend, trying to heal slowly. I don't know if I ever will. I don't care if he finds this post on here or other social media. He knows that I know that he cheated, or he wouldn't be trying to prove to me where he is and where he says he is all the time. I'm done, and thankfully, I have a friend who is helping me through this, looking for lawyers. He can be with whoever he wants. I don't care. The hurt is too much for me to ever care about him again, to love him again. I'm only staying because I need something. I have a few more months left, then I can go. I don't know if I will update because I have a long road ahead of me, but thanks for the comments. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I think good on OP for collecting evidence and having all her ducks in a row. I understand it's a very heartbreaking and frustrating situation, but hopefully the divorce process will go smoothly and amicably as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that OP didn't really do anything wrong here, per se. OP wasn't really snooping when they found out about the first phone line, and they weren't particularly curious about it. I do think that this is a little bit of a gray area with the invasion of privacy, but given that she already had a lot of evidence that this was cheating, I think that this isn't really a bad invasion in that particular case. She was gathering evidence for a divorce here, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not using this information to blackmail him later on, but she is using it to ensure that when she does get the divorce, that she actually has the evidence that she needs to have a fault divorce, right? So while it isn't necessarily the first course of action that somebody should take in a relationship, like you shouldn't be going through your partner's phone, you shouldn't be taking and recording messages and stuff like that. Given the legality of this, it seems like it's not as bad as it could be. The one thing that I think that might be good for anyone who's in a similar position is probably talk to a lawyer before going through the phone and whatnot, just to make sure that there isn't any other like legal barriers to collecting this evidence or whatnot, because you just don't want to have like one additional barrier to all this other stuff.
Yeah, or to have it like inadmissible in court or something like that.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, I Know My Fiance's Secret. Throw away 'cause she's got mine. I'm a 19-year-old male and I work pretty hardcore job with lots of stress and more than a decent amount of danger, falling off of buildings on a weekly basis. I wake up very early to my lunch made by my 19-year-old female fiance to go to the job site, and then I work until about 3. I get home and I usually just want to melt into the couch and play video games. I recently started picking up streaming on Twitch with some of my buddies. Not for money or anything, I don't have enough followers for that. I just like the feeling that people are hearing me and I'm real or something. I started noticing that every single time that I stream that there's one constant viewer from the moment that I start and the moment that I end. And I realized recently that it is her. I like to think that she doesn't tell me because she wants to be my secret supporter or something, but I know her secret, and it melts my heart anyways. I would have 0 viewers on a daily basis if it wasn't for her, and I love her so much that she's always going to be there to support me through everything. I can't express enough just how much I love this woman, and I can't wait to marry her. She's my biggest fan. Alright folks, what do you think of that one?
Oh, it's so wholesome. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice change compared to like some of the other posts here, but I mean, I think that having a nice wholesome one is a good idea every once in a while. But yeah, let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the avid storyteller go to the craft store?
Well, the avid storyteller went to the craft store because they had a yarn to spin.
Well, because they love a good yarn, yes.
Oh, they love a good yarn. I see. And I have licorice spice. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Friday! I can't believe it, folks. We made it to the end of the week. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it a little bit wholesome.
Supporting loved ones is a great way to bring joy to someone's day.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye!